We'd like to start this meeting off for Thursday, May 5th, 2022 from the Unionville Historic Districts and Property Commission. And call to order there, and we'll go over the minutes, and everybody's gotten a copy of it and has read it, right? Or yeah. There it is now anyway. So would you read it over if you haven't? And anybody that is available can approve it.
I move that we approve the minutes.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Thank you, Steve. Let it be said, it's Barbara and Steve for approving the minutes. And are there any changes to the minutes?
Oh, Sherry, now that we need you.
The only thing I would change is under the approval of the minutes, Matt Ross slated he had read the minutes, and I would think that it's everybody read it.
So Matt wasn't at the previous meeting, but as long as he read the minutes, he can vote on the minutes. It's a procedural thing.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
And you need 4 votes to pass, and we only had 4 members, so.
Yeah.
And we have 5, so we're good to go. If we're our motion to accept the changes or approve the minutes as is.
I move we accept the minutes as is.
And seconded by I'll second it. Nobody else will. And anybody else abstaining or have any other thoughts? Then we'll move right on. I'm not sure if Lisa will be back next month or not. It's touch and go. It's the walking tours of Lower Street, which you already started, Barbara, on.
Right. Well, I'm talking to Steve. Yeah, there's a lot more information in there than there was the last time. By the way, and I don't know how long you guys have been in town, but the Episcopal Church was torn down in 1968. I was really surprised. I thought it was much earlier. 1968 was when they did urban renewal of Tungus Square. And that's when the church was removed.
Wow.
And they went to, they purchased property in Avon, yeah, with their beautiful stained windows and everything. And I don't know how many of you were around in 68 or have seen, Bob is shaking his head no, okay.
I'm old, but not that old.
I was here, but I was 4. I don't remember that at all. We were in the village apartments.
Okay, well, I remember 68 very well, but I wasn't in Connecticut. I was in New York.
Right.
And if you ever get a chance to look at pictures of what that whole area, Unionville, Fourth, Farmington, I don't want to say Fourth, Route 4 or Farmington Avenue, and Main Street, what that area looked like before urban renewal. And I don't know if any of you remember the song they took Paradise and put up 2 parking lots. Well,
Joni
they
Mitchell.
put up a parking lot. They put
Joni
up 2
Mitchell.
parking lots, tore down the area and put up 2 parking lots. Not that the area didn't need a lot to do, but it was really, I mean, a destruction of the whole, of what was Unionville. So, but I can't blame any of you since you all claim you weren't around.
I was
So,
here, but I was
Yeah.
4.
Right. You were here, but yeah.
I was 4.
So that church really stood there, I think from the 1880s till 1968, and then was torn down. It's kind of really sad. It was a beautiful building, but
We have
anyway.
about a dozen of those original windows in the Unionville Museum archives.
Oh, are they in there? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought I read that there was one. There are, because I'd love to see them.
There's
Yeah.
a dozen, yeah.
Yeah.
I could probably get pictures of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we want to continue, how do I?
It was I think it was true Gothic architecture with peaked pointed arches and such.
Right.
And the stained glass is the same shape. Some are about 6 or 7 feet tall, 2 feet wide. And then another batch is about 5 feet tall, 18
Yeah,
inches wide.
it's really kind of sad that things like that just get torn down. I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, we're on to the Masons. And Matt, you were going to send some information to Steve. I don't know if you've had a chance to dig that up.
I forgot
that
about it, and
building.
I'm looking it up right now so I can put the
Okay.
link in the chat.
All right. So the original building was the Tyrone building, built by Franklin Tyrone in 1850. And that's what it originally looked like before the Masons. The Masons, I believe, purchased it in 1906 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that building until then. So yeah, and there is another picture that I want to dig out, which is of a class in 1927 or 1928. There was an explosion of students, so they needed a second first grade class, and they actually used a room in the up on the 3rd floor, one of the Masonic rooms, as their classroom. And there's a picture of them sitting out front, which is kind of interesting because it was almost like those steps went all the way across at one point, and the kids were all sitting there. So it's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
The original building on that site was built in 1874. I'm sending you guys. I just posted it in the chat. A presentation that I put together during the lodge's anniversary
Okay.
that kind of catalogs the lodge and has some history of the
Alright.
building there as well.
So where did we
Great.
get 1854? I have to triple check these dates. And I'll tell you, I spoke to Anne, or I didn't speak to her. I sent her an email earlier, and she could not attend because there's a board meeting at Unionville Museum.
Yeah.
And I asked her who wrote the verbiage, the comments that I'm seeing when I go into their catalog. And she said it was Jack Crockett, who of course lived on Lovely Street. And she said his information is the best, but I'm sure there's other information. So yeah,
I take that back. I read it wrong. So the first building was built in 1867. It then was destroyed by fire in 1874, and the warranty deed to build the existing building was taken out on May 14th, 1906.
So the building was built and looked exactly the same?
Very similar. It was very similar. Prior to the brick building, it was a wood structure.
Okay.
So,
back.
and that from 1918 to 1957, the first floor housed a post office.
Wow.
There's other notes in there too. There was a bank on the first floor at one point. I know that.
Yeah, yes, the bank went bankrupt during the Depression.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So put that out so that I can download it and go through the whole thing. See, that building looks, I can't tell at that picture of the Tyrone building whether it was brick or wood. I'm gonna have to see that enlarged.
I bet you that's brick.
Yeah, it looks like brick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty much the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much the same as it is presently, just without that front porch and without all the chimneys.
right, the chimneys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But brick with the stone lintels, the brownstone header lintels above each window and door.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
And
So
this building burnt down.
That's the replacement after the wood structure burned down in 74, I guess.
In 1874, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'll download your that whole thing and then we can put that information in. You don't mind if I still
No, go ahead.
mention? Okay.
Go ahead. It's all public info. that
Yeah,
I got researching various
yeah.
places.
Cool.
So,
Great. Yeah, it's just interesting though when you go back and it's like, well, wait a minute, it's got this date and it's got that date. Which is the right date? So, okay.
They're all
Right.
correct.
Yeah, they're all circa.
They all have accuracy to certain degrees.
Yeah, I know. I guess there is something good about town permits now. You can actually go and say, when was this permit pulled? Okay. All right. And we can go on.
And of course, that's part of the story when you're giving the walking tour and the brochures. You can elaborate on, well, this
Right.
isn't the original building. The original one was much older and wood
Right.
and it burned.
Yeah, but almost identical. So that's interesting. Okay. And this I don't, and I have not gotten a hold of the fire chief yet. And unfortunately, I won't be able to go there this Saturday. They're having
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
yeah, they're
Just
having a
get breakfast?
breakfast. Yeah,
You should
Tunxus.
go.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good way to get in there.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know if they're having it there. I mean, they're having it
No.
at the Tunxus Hose Company.
Usually in the bays of the truck garage, right next to the museum.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so, anyway, I have to still
Yeah.
see about getting in there. Okay. Onward.
So you are trying to get into that building, right?
I'd like to, wouldn't you like to see it? I have to try to get a hold of it.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Interesting. See if we can. Okay. Yeah, but Hill House. Okay.
They just refinished some of that.
Yeah.
They spruced it up a bit.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the work has been done on the building behind, which I think now is maybe another residential property on the property. You can just see the blue and white stripes of the
That's,
gambrel roof. It looks like a residence on the upper floor. Lots of landscaping. I'm a little optimistic. I'm kind of optimistic about these folks because they're relatively new. They're not so jaded against the
oh,
oversight of the committee yet.
There is one house before this house on the same side. It's up the bank.
Yeah, it's true. And that is owned by Robotham and Wallenberg, and they are very much against joining. They've altered that house a lot. It's on a really steep driveway adjacent to the old firehouse. And it's up high. It's easy to overlook because it's up so high.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no crosswalk in front of it either.
No, but they are not interested. That's the Woodruff Goodwin House, number 24, 1849. But it's hard to recognize. They've put so many additions on it and altered it in so many ways. They're kind of contemporaries of mine. They're a little older than me, and my sister went to school with them, but that's the one door I've knocked on so far. Unfortunately, I haven't done a lot of legwork as far as recruitment.
Now, Steve, you're going to go to every house on that street?
Well, no, just the houses that have been listed and recognized as being distinctive, historic, architecturally significant. I think there's about 22. There's about 20 to 22 houses that would like to have join, but and out of that many, I think there's already about 6 that are on. So
Right. That's
we
true.
got a lot of work to do, but whether they join or not, they're going to be living within a district, and we can work on them. I'm back in the neighborhood. So, a lot more legwork to do. But there are new owners of some of the houses, so we're optimistic about the recruitment. Namely that one, yeah. And this one too, there are new owners here in this house.
Right.
So
Yeah, I still have fine.
I met them at the museum at a holiday party. Seemed very nice. They're right next door to Sherry Horton.
And there is
Is
something
this
back
in the
between
district?
the two.
I'm sorry?
There is another house back farther.
On the same property.
And it looks like the same property.
It is, yeah. That was developed, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, there's 2 livable units. I think it's a duplex. Definitely not original. There was a very small garage back in the day, in the 60s and 70s when I grew up here. Anyway, yeah, but I'll definitely be speaking to these people, or Barbara and I will be speaking to these people.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely street. And of course, they're the ones who were kicked out of 2 churches. So that's, I want to know what they did.
Seymour Moses.
Yeah. Yep. So that's
I don't think these folks have been approached ever. I don't see them listed on the cultivation list.
That's the house they fixed their porch up recently. Within the past 5 years, anyway.
Did a nice job. Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Lovely. And I found this picture which shows
Huh.
a little bit more, well, a lot more clearly those little details.
Yeah.
If you look at some of the houses on Cottage Street, they have that extra arch underneath the peak.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The King's Cross. It's a verge board or barge board jutting out.
Well,
Yeah.
they were sticks. And interestingly, when we spoke to
Frank.
Frank Sanford, and as he was saying that the carpenters actually brought their tools to the site and did, of course, everything individually. I mean, you look at it, you think, oh, this was done in a factory with all the cutouts, but they weren't. They were just done very carefully and very distinctly.
Custom on site. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very impressive work.
They repaired one of the houses because a tree fell on it on Cottage Street, and they just had to make new ones. So they took the old one and copied it over and traced the old one and did it over again.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that must have been expensive.
They had to do the roof also with the insurance and everything. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Next, the Hitchcock House. And I don't know if you notice in the verbiage, how many people on that street worked at the Union Nut Company and later the Upson Nut Company. I mean, and the ones that came after it. So, and I go a little into the Upson Nut Company was eventually sold to the Bourne Fuller Company. Bourne Fuller became part of Republic Steel. And if you go online and look for it, there is still an Upson Nut division of Republic Steel.
Oh, wow.
interesting.
Excellent.
Of course, then they become Pioneer Ball.
Yeah. So
Pioneer Steel Ball. That's right. Yeah.
it's a shame this house needs some work. Would you go get them, Steve? Get them to fix that?
I'm trying. I'm going to be doing more work at Sherry's next door this summer.
Ah,
so
okay.
I'll,
This is where the old guy lives, though.
yeah,
Simons.
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill Simons.
Yeah, he should be about 77.
Oh, so I shouldn't say he's old then. Excuse me.
Yeah. No, he's still active. He gardens. He does his yard work. You know, he attended some meeting, the Lovely Street Gathering, but never followed through. And it kind of shows he's not all that interested in, you know, doing more than he
Yeah.
has to or can. Luckily, the house is actually fairly sound and solid. It's mostly cosmetic, so.
But we don't make them fix their house. We can't do that.
I don't know. No, it's not blight yet.
Not much, no.
Yeah.
This I really have to just put down who bought it from who, kind of, because there really isn't very much of interest that I have found so far about the people themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone knows anything, maybe you know the family, who knows?
Yeah. I think I see the couple walking up and down our street daily.
Yeah.
I knew the Hemingways lived there growing up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, I would feel comfortable not only trying to recruit them as far as the house and the district, but maybe they might have some kind of archives and history there in the house.
Yeah, they may have some.
Yeah.
You don't
It's
know
true.
that
Yeah.
it was kind of like handed down to owners. Yeah, that would be interesting. So
Yeah.
that's your assignment. So
Yeah.
you were around in the 60s, but you don't remember Tungus Square. I don't understand that.
I was 4 years old. I was living in the Farmington Village Apartments. We just moved from Texas.
Ah, that explains it.
I was more interested in Tonkas and dirt,
Yeah.
Tonka toys. But I could also find out if these folks are related to the Hemingways that presently live there. And if not, I could also try to reach out to some of the Hemingways because I went to school with them
Okay.
and see if they have any other history or archives to it. But yeah, same thing with this house. It's a lot of it's cosmetic.
Mhm.
It's got that weird roof in the upper right. I don't know what's going on with that roof there.
Here? Well,
In the
you can't see
upper
what I'm
right.
doing.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
yeah. There's something going on there. It looks like a temporary repair or anyway. Okay. These folks are at the end of my street, Merriman. They're new owners. They're young, early 30s perhaps.
Mhm.
I don't see them outside much, but I'll definitely feel confident enough to approach them and try to recruit them.
Daniel Johnson.
Lisa's house. Lisa's house. Yeah.
A shop
gotta-
in
you gotta-
Lovely Street. That's great. See what I mean? He had a shop in Lovely Street. So,
Yeah, you got to get to talk to Mr. Lindquist about that one. He can give you the whole story on it,
Yeah.
how they put them together.
Oh,
oh,
cool.
who can?
Lisa's husband,
Oh, okay.
Eric
Good.
Lindquist.
Oh,
I
Yep.
mean, Ted Lindquist.
Ted.
Ted
Lindquist,
Lindquist. Yep.
Ted. Yeah.
Great. We'll find out more information.
Yeah, because there's a lot of little tidbits in there that he knows, and he's even got the grid for the scallops on the
Uh-huh.
roof pipe, the little icicles or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. Yeah. Fretwork, gingerbreading,
Yeah.
verge board, decorative verge board. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, they're missing a few teeth. Hmm.
Done, and I know I know I have some information on him that I haven't put in, but anyway, this is the original house on the right, or rather on the left.
To the left. Yeah. Now, if you put this together into a pamphlet, or if we extended our booklet there, you could actually probably put both of them together, right, Matt?
Side by side.
Side by
Side by side?
side.
Yeah,
That'd be- yeah.
But we can also
or,
see,
or one over the other.
yeah, I mean, I took pictures that were in the catalog, and maybe we could, if we took a picture of the actual photograph, it might be better. I don't know. Not an expert in that, but it
Oh,
is
so you could
impressive.
manipulate it. So you could manipulate it more.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of faint, but that was probably the picture might be.
And the booklets tend to have a more narrow, long format.
Mhm.
I mean, if it's going to be like this,
That's why it would probably behoove you to go one on top of the other.
yeah.
Yeah, and I have to make a note. I thought I put that in the George Dunnan house. That gives more information.
I have a feeling these folks will join. They're young. They have young children. They bought the place, I think, about 4 years ago. I'm pretty confident that they'll join. Although Summer and Aaron Amorosino, they got a packet, email conversation. I'm not sure what year that was, though, from the cultivation list.
Mhm.
Could have been last year. But as a neighbor, I need to talk to him. Let's see if I can get that Ionic Capital fixed for him.
11.
Hmm.
And this guy was part of Ripley, every major company in the town almost. I mean, but he started out at Stanley Rule and Level, which is the Stanley Company. Stanley
Of New Britain.
Becker. Yeah. Yeah. So he was involved with them, and then he worked for the Ripley Manufacturing Company, which was known for heavy paper. It's just amazing all the stuff that was done here. Porter Manufacturing and Planter Porter. So, and he had a gorgeous house. 126. Oh, shit. Oh. Stop. I'll get you later. I don't want to.
I didn't know we were going to have background music to the presentation. I think that's pretty classic.
It's an important phone call, though, and I don't want to do a decline. I don't even know what that message comes out as. So, okay, so this is the Italian at 120, and I don't think I could find anything on this. I have to go back and look. That maybe. I have a feeling that when I was copying these scanning pages, that I missed a couple. I was scanning them out of that 1985 architectural review. So I have to go back and check on a couple of them.
Now, when you have a house like that, you never found anything when you did the research part of on the computer and or at the town hall?
Why don't I was using mostly the review. I didn't go in and do the whole town hall, start there, because they had all of that pulled out, the architectural review. So I have to go back. I may have to start at the town hall.
And we could do deed research.
And do the deed search. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And this is another one from the Ups and Nut.
Interesting.
This house is in the district.
Oh, I know, and I love it. It's a beautiful house.
They're the ones who hosted the gathering.
Yes.
Added in 2021. Jack Kemper's an architect. I think he helped with the museum edition.
Yeah, and the original, the woman who first lived there ended up unfortunately, in an insane asylum.
Brewer? The wife of Albert?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mary Jane, I guess it is.
Well, their child died, and 3 years later, and so it could have been.
That's
Yeah.
Could go over the edge, yeah.
Oliver True. It's not Sherwin, it's Sherman.
Sherman.
Sherman. I probably read that
Right.
3
Yeah,
times,
there's
but
no-
Sherman.
Well, you were
Yeah,
remembering
Sherman.
Frank promising us original Sherwin-Williams colored
Right,
palette.
right,
That
maybe,
was-
but it's Sherman and Edwin, they were sons of the original Franklin, yeah.
Yes.
Needed the 1 acre lot. They owned a huge amount of property on Lovely Street. And
Yeah.
so a lot of these homes were, especially as you get further north, a lot of these homes originally were part of the Sanford farm.
Right, there was a big farm there.
Yeah. So they had, yeah.
Yeah, he told us that the barn is still standing in Avon, just beyond the
Yes.
Greenwood
Yes.
Cemetery,
Across the street.
across the street, but down a little. It's not directly across, but
Right.
it's a huge barn,
Right.
the stone foundation. So that was the farm site, and so they probably owned all the land all the way down, maybe to Unionville or thereabouts.
No, because there's someone else. There's someone else who was part of that. Yeah. But it's a lot of the property. Now, Blanche and Oliver True, I believe, actually lived in there. There's another home. Let me just work. There's another home where they had, well, you'll see when you go on.
These people, I think, would be good candidates to get for the historic district. They have not changed this house in years and years and years.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good candidate.
Good point. Very good. Yeah. And they're not on the cultivation list. I think done in 2021. Not even listed. They're certainly listed in the
His name is Frank that owns it now. I can't remember his last name.
last name you said?
I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Frank.
Okay.
Used to be a principal over in East Hartford, I believe.
Huh.
Till he retired about 6 years ago. He runs around with a little red sports car.
Excellent.
Convertible.
Me and my, okay, Lovely Street.
This one's beautiful.
And of course, this is still a question mark. This was one that I specifically asked Anne about, and she, said whatever Jack Crockett said is right. But I think, Garrett, I'm going to have to come over, and we're going to have to, I don't know, see what real information is there. I will say, I have found various dates as to Oliver Beckwith's death. And so I'm trying to put together which documentation has the actual facts.
Barbara, did you take a look at the expansion study report from last year? Because this is the house that was going to be added and then withdrew at the last minute. So
Right.
We should have some pretty comprehensive information.
Let me see. Yeah.
I'll take a look at our files too, see if I've got
Yeah.
a copy.
Yeah, Lisa did a lot of work on this one too.
But there were buildings there. I believe when Hart bought the house or bought the property originally. So whether it was that little house on the on the right or not. And then later this large Queen Anne was built. So you even have the house dated as 1885. And the house was bought in 1878. And the other information that I got from Unionville, the Unionville Museum, was that the house that is standing there now was built by Oliver Beckwith for his second wife, Anne, and that it was actually built in 1906, which is way, I mean, you know, so, but maybe there's, if I go through each piece of evidence having to do with the deeds, maybe there's more information about it rather than using someone else's research.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing special about this. So I have to find this one. Let's see, Queen Anne, Sanford 2.
I only took a picture of 152, the previous one, because it's pretty much the exact same house as this one. And I'm assuming that it was one of the Sanford houses. I forget what Frank said about that previous one. 152 wasn't listed in any survey,
Right.
historic survey, and it wasn't in the cultivation list. 162 is in the survey, but not on the cultivation list. So, it'd be nice if they both were on.
Yeah. I don't know if the Trues, if Blanche and her husband, Blanche Sanford, and what is it, Edwin, and Oliver True ever actually even lived there. The house was given to them, but remember, they lived in the last house we talked about.
The colonial. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Colonial revival.
not quite sure. Yeah. So not quite sure. All it says is, you know, it was, the property was given to them. So. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
They may have rented it. Who knows? I don't know. Taft. Yeah, that was another one that I still Taft. Okay.
Some of these houses that they don't have that ornate design up in the peak. There's basically the same design with the bold windows up the front. The bow window.
Yeah, like Sherry's, the stick style.
Sherry's, right. And
Yeah.
some ones on our street too.
Well, maybe it had it originally because it does look a lot like Sherry's house.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah, the King's Cross. Yeah.
I could see someone coming in and, you know, if it's not in good shape, just saying, hey, why don't we just take this off?
Yeah. Yeah. But that one does have the quatrefoils. It does have the relief detail in the verge boards. Similar, you know, to that.
Yeah, the stairs go off to the side versus where Sherry's go off in the front of the, you know, front steps.
Correct. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. It's very much like Sherry's. And in fact, we thought this might have been the house that was on 142's property and they moved it if you go back to 142, it
Right.
almost looks like that old house that was on 142's property originally, but it's not. Yeah, yeah. This one's not listed on any register survey or cultivation list. Sadly, this is probably one of the buildings that's in the worst shape on the entire street. So, and then some of the flags that are waving in that upper right residence kind of are a little off-putting and make me hesitate knocking on their door, but but they change the flags regularly, so I don't know.
They changed them in what? Just put up new American flags, or are there other flags?
There's other flags of certain politicians and of certain
Oh, okay. All right.
Militia, don't tread on me kind of memberships that
That I don't think if anyone with a don't tread on me would want to become part of the historic district. So
yeah. Anyway.
okay. And then we come to
Edwin Sanford.
For $1.
Gave the property to his son for $1.
Sounds reasonable. Was it that elaborate when you wouldn't know?
I did not find an older picture of it. I can still,
Yeah.
but that's,
It's very similar to the one on Farmington Avenue.
yeah. Yes, there is one like it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I would say it's pretty much all original, but I've only been on the sidewalk. I haven't investigated. But it looks, well, I mean, except obviously the windows have been replaced.
Yeah, they added that fan up in the upper peak up there.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, they might have embellished it a little.
Well, of course, the way it's been painted, it brings out every little different aspect of it.
Yeah, which
was the way they did their houses.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's on the historic survey, but not on the recruit list.
Another Sherman house, another Sanford house.
Yeah.
See, now this land, which I would think would be fairly close to the farm, was actually purchased from George W. Payne.
Yeah.
And then
his
brother.
It's pretty much all right on the Avon line.
Yeah. Queen Anne. Another lovely house. So if you guys want to read that at your leisure and email me, let me know if you think that some of them need more information, anything else you want to see. There are, I guess, maybe 3 or 4 that is still lacking. I do have to apologize. I have not been feeling my most chipper best the last few months, and I finally gotten a diagnosis. So hopefully I'll be in better shape in the next couple of months. But so I've been kind of slacking in the running around that I should be doing. So I do apologize. But
you're doing great.
Yeah. So
Matt, when do you think you could put this together?
Yeah, well, you're gonna do Steve is gonna take it and add some of the more interesting architectural things. I will look up any things that I am missing and add them in.
Yeah, you got 5 of them,
And-
with nothing.
Yeah, and try to really get more information on that 142, which is really fascinating me. And when
I
we-
still have to take it to the town hall to do, to get schooled on the deed research, and you
yeah,
can do
I
that,
have
or
to,
Matt.
yeah, we've gotta,
And then we can get into the Unionville Museum as well.
Yeah.
So
that's right. There's a ton of additional pictures and things in the museum.
yes,
So we were actually hoping at one point that we might have an old picture and a new picture for each one of them. I don't know
Yeah.
if we'll find that.
yeah,
But if we could, that would make it more interesting. So if we get our acts together and really push, try to get all the information done by June at some point, what do you think?
yeah.
Yeah, okay, we will. Yeah,
Alright.
we're going along. But again, Bob and Matt, if any other information that you would like to see in there.
What-
I didn't add a lot of the he sold it to she sold it, she died and sold it, because that gets to be,
Yeah,
unless the people themselves were really interesting, I don't think anyone cares. But I may be wrong. You may feel I should put more of that in.
Well, if some of the owners in between the original and the present have some historic significance to
Yeah,
the town,
right. Well, like the
or
Beckwith.
any at all, in any historic significance in the
Right.
world, but
Right.
that might be nice. But
I know I'm missing the Crockett's. I don't know. I've got to go back.
So once you guys have that info almost finalized, then I'll take it and start popping it into the templates that we
Right.
have for the walking tours.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
thank you.
June seems
Hmm.
pretty quick, but well, you'll be pretty much set by next month then, right?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. The weather should be good, so I can't blame it on the weather.
No. Okay, so we'll move on to our next line of business is the guidelines. And how do we stand on those?
I think we'll just hold off till June, because I know we wanted to wait for Lisa and Ann to be here as well,
Right. we
just
need
to
it
make
all
sure they're all
approved.
okay with it. So let's hope in June everyone can be here.
Yeah,
But
it was pretty much done, wasn't it? We just wanted
yeah, I think there might have been one or two wording
Double
things that I'll
check
double
it,
check.
yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, we're
So-
gonna wait anyway. And I put all the changes in the minutes that we had discussed. So
Okay,
everything's in there. And I think we hit everything. And it was just we were gonna hold off another month. And now I guess we'll hold off another month if everyone's okay with that.
okay.
Last is our property research. Search. We had homes that were interested in doing it and they just bow out. Garrett,
Well,
do you know why that house on Key Street, I guess it is, or is it Key Lane? Key Lane, no,
15.
off of Plainville Avenue.
Oh, what did Joanne say? I think she withdrew and wanted to do her own research or something. She thought, I don't know, it might have been a miscommunication. But if we get others interested in joining, we'll reach out to her again and see if she is still interested. She said something to Joanne Lawson that she wanted to take some time to do her research. I'm not quite sure what the whole story was. Whatever she was said Joanne Lawson was a little odd, but because I don't think she understood that the town did the research for her in order for her to join the district. So I don't know, unfortunately. But if we get
So,
others
Garrett,
interested in it, we'll reach out to her again.
are we missing some info to finish up the next report? Is there stuff that we just got to fill in?
Yeah, so I had given everyone, we had 3 homes on Waterville Road for the Farmington Historic District.
Okay.
That I had given to everyone, and I asked them to upload what research they had conducted. I created a SharePoint with a folder for all that. So I think Anne took one. It might have been 9 Waterville, and then there's 26 and another one.
Okay.
9 Waterville Road, 26 and
Got it. 11 and
11.
26. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in the wrong folder.
Okay.
So it was members on Unionville were interested in learning how to do the research, and we've got 3 homes that are looking to join Farmington. So
Got it.
have everyone help us with the research. I did, like I said, I set up the SharePoint so everyone can just upload any documents that they found. I think we did the property research in person. So.
Anybody else have any other business at the present for this meeting? No one? Okay. Thank you for your walk down Lovely Street there. Or up. Lovely Street. That was
It's a lovely street.
Yes, it is. They named it right. In fact, Sylvian Avenue, they talk about up there that was Lovely Heights at one time, which is kind of an interesting pull of the Lovely Street name.
Sounds like a realtor's term. You know,
Maybe
Good.
so.
realtors are trying to embellish the neighborhood a little bit, you know.
People to move in there, yes. All right, if we don't have any other business, make a motion to hear a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I second.
So it is. Thank you for everyone. For our
Thank you.
May meeting,
Everyone,
and we'll see you in June.
Yes.
All right.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.